Ever wondered why certain behaviors are labeled as sins in the Bible? Today, let's dive into the topics of adultery and same-sex relationships to understand what the scripture says and how we can navigate these issues with grace and truth. First, let's talk about adultery. The Bible is clear on this one. In Exodus 20:14, God gives the commandment, "You shall not commit adultery." Adultery breaks the sacred covenant between a husband and a wife, and it goes against God's design for marriage. Jesus even expands on this in Matthew 5:27 through 28, saying that anyone who looks at someone lustfully has already committed adultery in their heart. The emphasis here is on the purity of the heart and minds. Adultery isn't just a physical act, but also a matter of where our thoughts and desires lead us. It's a call to honor our commitments and to love our spouses faithfully as Christ loves the church. Now, addressing same-sex relationships. The Bible has passages that speak to this as well. Leviticus 18:22 states, "Do not have sexual relationships with a man as one does with a woman. That is detestable." The New Testament also touches on this in Romans 1:26 through 27, where Paul talks about men and women exchanging natural relations for those that are contrary to the nature. These passages have been the subject of much debate, but traditional interpretation holds that same-sex relations are outside of God's design for human sexuality, which is intended to be between one man and one woman within marriage. It's crucial, though, to approach these topics with love and compassion. The goal isn't to condemn, but to understand and uphold God's standards while showing his love to everyone. In John 8:7, when a woman caught in adultery was brought before Jesus, he said, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." This reminds us that we all are in need of God's grace and forgiveness. None of us, and we should approach others with humility and kindness. So what does this mean for us today? It means that while we hold to the teachings of the Bible, we must also embody Christ's love and grace. We need to create spaces where people can encounter God's truth and his love. It's about striking a balance between upholding biblical principles and extending compassion and understanding to those around us. Let's commit to living out these truths in our own lives, being faithful in our relationships, and loving others as Christ loves us. By doing so, we can navigate these complex issues with wisdom and grace, reflecting God's love and truth in all that we do. Don't forget to follow me for more content like this.